RAFter Dark for September. That's what you're listening to. Feeling that little ember burn up inside of you and get your horn, and
I
that's
just
what this
spilled water
is
all
all
over.
about.
Look at
Joel had to put that water out, or put that ember out. He was getting too horny.
Oh my
Had to
god!
douse himself in water.
Poured it all down.
You know why? Because this is RAFter Dark, everybody. Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast, brought to you by ourselves. We have divorced ourselves from the AI overlords at Affable Idiots, and we are now independent. We have officially left our giant publishing partner, and we are no longer at risk of being shut down as a studio in this horrific gaming industry. But the good news is all of that's irrelevant right now, because this is RAFter Dark, and we talk about anything but gaming here on this patreon.com/respawnaimfire exclusive for a month episode. And we are considering naming this the IKEA podcast, just because of how frequently that comes up. And spoilers, I think we have to return to it at least once more this week because of Joel. But we're going to continue by telling you our names. Hi, I'm Chad Michael. Been to IKEA 0 times this month. This month being the last 30 days, not September, because that's cheating, because today's the 1st of September. And with us, we also have here Alex. How many times have you been to IKEA in the last 30 days, Cosino?
In fact, I was at IKEA last week, but it was a very brief visit. Right now, I'm in the process of getting a bunch of things for my kitchen that I've been holding off on for a while now. One of the things that I was looking for is like a proper, like wide rectangular box for proofing individual little things of pizza dough when they're, needing to be proofed to be put in the oven. I wasn't able to find a proper thing at the IKEA that would allow me to do so. So I didn't end up buying anything. Actually, that's not true. I did buy a lemon zester. I've had a, grater for quite some time now, but I never had a proper just like microplane style zester. And so I got one of those while I was at IKEA. Also joining me on this episode from the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 review, it's Axon with an extra N at the end.
Let's see if Joel can do a better job at answering the question that I asked. Joel, how many times have you been to IKEA in the last 30 days, Campos?
I think 0 in the last 30 days.
All right. In the last 30 days.
I do have a question, though. Cozy said he had a quick trip to IKEA. I did not know that was possible. A quick
Even
trip
just to go
IKEA.
park at IKEA, you have to walk through the entire fucking showroom.
Yeah, you have to start up at the 3rd floor and work your way down. I don't know. A quick trip is possible.
So, I actually took my bike to IKEA. I actually didn't drive there. All the cars were out, so I took my bike. And B, I actually took a couple of shortcuts through the showroom. So I kind of cheated IKEA in that way, and that's why it was a short trip for me.
And Mr. IKEA himself, Adam, how many times have you been to IKEA in the last 30 days, Gumbert?
I have not been once in the last 30 days because I've heard that place is full of perverts. So I'd rather not be around a bunch of perverts. I will say...
Yeah, I have seen all the perverts. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, that's where they stay.
I will say that president we had. Remember that president? Pervert pooper.
Pervert Hoover. Good one. I will say, though, TCU, there's a pretty cute cheerleader on their team, so shout out to her.
That's creepy.
TCU, what
you
is
want to
that?
talk about pervert?
Tennessee, what?
I just had to, counter non-pervert with plus pervert. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. This makes it even worse. Are you talking about Texas Christian University?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the cheerleaders for the team.
Christian school?
Listen.
You're making pervert comments about
I said she was cute, is all I said. I said she was cute.
Oh, my God.
That's it. There's allowed to be attractive people in the world.
Hold on.
Cheerleader.
Adam, can you stand up and walk back so we can see from the waist down?
What are you trying to see?
We're trying to see if you spilled water on your boner.
Just see the big old hog. Anyways,
I'm looking.
Chad, I'll find a
picture.
I will find a picture of the one I'm talking about, and I will send it to you.
Yeah, because there are about 45 attractive
there's a lot.
cheerleaders on
There's
this
a lot of
team right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Adam already has her Instagram handle and everything. He'll let us know.
And then there's one that looks like Josh Gad.
Who is she? I gotta get her fucking story.
I don't know. Hold on. I don't know how to share this with you all in the way that you can get it. So I'm going to put the link to this website in the chat on Video Ninja. And then it's the one that's the base of the pyramid on the right-hand side.
All right, I'm gonna find a way to pull this up. I might have to go into our Respawn Aim Fire plus screen stream, but it's the one that what? Sorry?
It's the base of the pyramid on the right-hand side with the most determined look of like, I will not kill these women above me because I will be a stoic foundation for this building.
Oh, that's definitely a man.
It's Josh Gad.
Hold on.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
on.
I don't have anything to start this off. Joel, do you have an IKEA story or what? What are we doing?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll get the IKEA talk out of the way quick. You guys were talking about hot dogs, Costco versus IKEA hot dogs. I had an IKEA hot dog that was like the most dog shit thing I've ever eaten in my fucking life.
Wow.
It was so bad. Like so bad. It's an insult that it costs the same price as a Costco hot dog.
Again, I need to reiterate that I don't think that IKEA hot dogs are better than Costco hot dogs. I just appreciate that you're not shackled to a soft drink in the way that you are with a Costco hot dog. That's all I have to say on the matter.
You can just not take the soft drink.
No, but then you feel guilty.
No, you don't. It doesn't get wasted. You just say, I'm not going to take that. No, you just say, I won't. They're not going to pour it and be like, oh, well.
China.
And then they're like, well, guess you're not getting the full $1.50's worth. And then they laugh at you as you walk out of the Costco.
Yeah, that dude making minimum wage does not give a shit if you take that drink or not.
I'm sure they make good money at Costco.
I'm sure
it's like a place where they care about their people.
Instead, what Cozy does, he takes a cup, fills it with pop, looks at it and goes, ugh, and then just throws it away. so then somebody goes to take out the garbage and it's just full of soda pop at the bottom.
What do you think? Like, is there like, what? Now I'm trying to imagine in my head, what if we filled up the Costco soft drink and then we sold it? Like, what would be the best website to sell it on? Like Craigslist? Could we put up a Craigslist ad? Like, hey, I got like a thing of Pepsi from Costco.
I don't think anybody's buying that.
No.
But we gotta offset the guilt. We can't just throw it out. We have to use it somehow
to a homeless
if we're not
person.
going to drink it.
Yeah, give it to a dude outside who's thirsty. Yeah.
I mean, I guess
but you got to do it before the ice melts. So you have to go to an IKEA that's
we
specifically in a spot of town where there's a lot of homeless people.
We got to make a profit. Oh, hold on, Joel. I know that you have a lot of stuff that you need to get to. I'm just going to get this out of the way real quick. Right now in Canada, KFCs, which are known as PFKs in Quebec because it stands for Poulet Frit Kentucky, are doing a pickle-themed set meal. They are doing a pickle-themed set meal. So they got a pickle burger, they got pickle fries, they got like little like fried pickle slices, and they're doing a pickle Pepsi. And I, at the urging of some of my Discord friends on one of my secret Discords, went and got their pickle Pepsi. And oh, man. So I expected that it was going to be something where it's like, oh, they have like a bottle in like a fridge on the back of the counter, or like maybe like a special thing temporarily set up in like the fountain machine in the KFC. It was not that. What it was is they gave me like a little like packet of like concentrated pickle brine with 2 physical pickle slices inside of it. And we're like, yeah, go to the vending machine, go to the dispensing machine, get yourself a thing of Pepsi, and then pour this in and mix it into your Pepsi.
Shots.
And unfortunately, to my dismay, the machine in question, this is why I was reminded of this, was out of ice. And so I had to enjoy myself a good old lukewarm cup of Pepsi with pickle brine mixed into it, because my Discord friends were like, yo, you're from Canada, fucking do it.
First of all, there are 3 inaccuracies. First of all, the soda comes out cold. You do not require ice. It does not come out hot if you don't have ice.
It was cold at the beginning, but it gradually turned lukewarm the more I brought my mouth to it.
And then
burned hot.
What?
Sure, whatever you say. But
the more I brought my mouth to it, why do you got to say it like that?
It's because he was breathing hot breath onto it every time he pulled it up.
You win. I give up.
Anyways,
wait. Then what are the pickle fries? Is it just regular fries and like, hey, take these 2 little discs of pickle and chuck it on there?
Hey, this is just a normal meal. We're just gonna give you all the accessories and tell you how to make it the pickled version of it.
I think it's just like dill seasoning, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
Hold on a second.
You know what pisses me off about pickle flavored things is not most of the time, I have been wronged by pickled flavored things who are just vinegar. And you just eat it and it's like, oh, this is just you took a potato chip and dipped it in vinegar, and I don't like that at all. And I feel very, very upset.
So I sent you in the chat a link to an article that has a nice image of all the pickle related items. So you got a pickle sandwich,
GoFrogs.com,
which has a bunch of pickles on it. You have, so it's loaded pickle fries with a bunch of dill seasoning and a bunch of little pickle pieces. And then you have pickle chips, which are literally like fried
pickles,
things of pickle chips. The pickle chips were out, so I couldn't even order those. The thing about the loaded fries is I could have gotten the loaded fries, but I was like, there has to be a limit to how much money I spend on this godforsaken meal. And so I just got standard fries with the pickle burger. So I can't speak to the pickle fries. The pickle burger was fine. I came out of the pickle burger being like, I feel like we could have done more with this. I feel like we could have covered this in like a good pickle aioli, but instead they used whatever their standard house sauce is.
You're describing it as a pickle burger, but it's a chicken sandwich, right?
Exactly. That's the problem. They didn't go hard enough.
They should have served beef at a chicken place. Then they would have gotten the pickle stuff right.
Oh, man.
Also, I mean, that's just a thing going on. I know Sonic down here is doing, they have their whole Grillo pickle thing going on. And I don't know. I don't like pickles. I like the smell of vinegar and brine or whatever that shit is, but I hate the taste of pickles. So none of this, I don't, it doesn't bother me because I won't buy any of it shit. So, but it is a craze going on right now. Everyone's like pickled everything. And I'm like, y'all have fun with that shit. I'll stay with my basic ass chicken burgers or whatever goes calls.
I was reading an article about this, and I promise we will get to Joel's IKEA story, but real quick. And I don't necessarily entirely agree with this article's points, but basically the article was making the argument that, like, you know, a few years ago there was the whole meme about how millennials were eating avocado on toast and how they loved avocado. And basically the article is like, what Gen Alpha realized is that avocado is really expensive, and if there's going to be a weird food that you're going to champion in your lifetime, it should be something that's a little less expensive, and pickles are pretty inexpensive. They are like pretty inexpensive on the weird food spectrum.
You know what I do appreciate about pickles? As inexpensive in cost, they are also inexpensive in calories, because
that's basically
true. That's true.
You
expend more calories eating and digesting a pickle than it gives you in life. So versus an avocado, which is like, that's fats, which are double carbs and protein calories. And so, yeah, maybe Gen Alpha's got it right.
Yeah, I have no qualms with pickles being as popular as they are right now, but the moment that they're like, yo, we created protein infused pickles, that's when we've gone too far. But you know it's coming.
You know, though, as long as it's not like chocolate whey protein powder just with vinegar.
Ooh. I'm gonna try it though. I'll probably try it.
On RAF 500, I want you to make a cocktail, and it's a pickle protein shake.
I'm still making fun of Cozy for RAF, whatever, 400, I guess it was.
For making that amazing looking cocktail?
It looked great. He said it tasted awful because it was a VCR, so it was vodka,
VCR cleaner,
coconut, and rum.
Yeah.
And you're like, because I can't think of anything for the C. But I'm like, brother, citrus is right there. Vodka, citrus, and rum sounds good.
Citrus. I guess
vodka, coconut, rum sounds
That's
awful.
A totally fair point. I'll make an updated version in the future.
Or it's chocolate and vodka.
Also done
yummy
cookies.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Or Cheerios.
Or a Krillo's pickle. Put it right in that bad boy.
Clausen.
Excuse me, not Krillo's. Joel, what happened at IKEA? I guess.
I don't know. I feel like I told you guys I had an IKEA story at one point, but I don't know that I have one outside of...
Well, everyone, that's been RAFter Dark for September. Thank you so much. That's all we got.
if we have no IKEA stories, we have nothing to talk about.
Hold on a second.
I'll talk about something.
I was going to say, wasn't there that one guy that you wanted to put on blast, but like you were like, I'm going to change some names
the naked man who was burning trash when you were moving or something crazy like that?
Oh, yeah, who also peed and you saw his wiener.
I mean, I want to hear about that as well, but there was another guy. There was another guy who was like involved in the transaction of your house.
Bob Saget.
That you also
Oh, my
mentioned.
God.
Oh, the real estate guy?
Oh, yeah.
Maniac, the sociopath?
Wait, what real estate guy? I don't know what real estate guy.
You talked about it, or maybe he was a lawyer,
or a lender, or a lawyer.
But you moved recently, so there should be some fun stories around that.
Okay. All right, yeah. So I have photos I want to bring up of like work I'm doing on my condo and stuff we just bought, but to bring it back to, because I don't think I've been on RAFter Dark since I moved. So to bring it back, right? I'm not even going to tell you what this person's role is, but they are a human being who should not
Bob
be doing their
DeSilva,
current
mayor
job.
of East.
Yeah, but yeah,
East
Bob
Warwick.
DeSilva.
Bob DeSilva.
He was helping me in the purchase of my home that I now own. Chad knows about it. I've told Chad about this, but he's the kind of person that is like way too old to be doing the job that he's currently doing. He's very demeaning in the way he talks to women, and that was like a huge turnoff to my wife. Like, the only reason we kept going with this guy is because of how cheap he was. But he would make jokes that was like, he's like, oh yeah, but like you wouldn't know anything about that, right? Like stupid jokes like that, like towards my wife, and then he like hoping that he would get like a little chuckle out of us, and we would just be dead silent on the phone. And be like, all right, well, that one didn't stick. And it's like, yeah, no shit, buddy. Because, like, you're talking like we're in fucking Mad Men in the 1960s, but it's fucking 2025. I don't know. He was just way too old to be doing his job and, like, had a really old man ideology.
Can we say,
yeah.
since we're not revealing his true actual role in your thing, can we say his job was roller skating waiter at a Sonic-style restaurant?
Yeah.
He's just way too old to be doing that? Okay.
Yeah, that's where I met him, yeah. And way too old to be doing that is like 30 years old, so we'll say he was 30.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there was that whole aspect of it. This person showed up to the closing of our home at the title company in sweatpants and Crocs.
Hell
Like
yeah.
dead serious sweatpants and Crocs. How are we supposed to take this human serious?
Did he have the little attachments to his Crocs, like the Shrek ears and all that stuff?
No.
What are they, giblets?
No, yeah. Gibbets or whatever. No, he did not. Two positive things, right? The first positive is that this person was insanely cheap to work with. The second positive was like we had a lot of downtime on the day we were closing, just because like we were sitting in a room and they were waiting for like one more document to come through. And it was a little delayed. So we had like, downtime where we were just sitting there in silence, kind of on our phones, chit-chatting, even though we didn't really want to talk to this human being. But they gave us a very solid piece of advice because they were asking what everybody's been asking since we got married is like, when are you guys going to have a kid, right? Like, I'm fucking sick of hearing this fucking words come out of people's mouths, right? Like, maybe I don't want to
have a kid.
But Joel,
maybe I
like,
can't
when
have
are
a
you
kid.
gonna do it though?
Yeah.
Right?
If
Like,
you just have a
who
kid,
knows?
then everyone will stop asking.
But just
Instead
do it.
they'll
It's
be
like,
"Hey,
he's like
here's money."
maybe it's none of anybody's fucking business. Maybe I already have 3 kids. Maybe we already have 3 kids, and we
They
just
didn't
haven't
say
told
you
you
had to
yet.
keep the kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, just have him get ready.
Yeah.
yeah. So
And if
this-
you're one of those pro-lifers, then like technically you had the kid at conception, and then you can just like
No, I'm saying
Bill.
leave it at the fireman's doorstep. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, and this person asked the question, right? Like, so like, are you guys, because like he's seen many people buy homes working at this Sonic on roller skates. He's met so many people and worked with so many people that have bought homes in and out of that Sonic drive-through. And so he naturally is just curious, right? Like, you guys have been married a few years, you're buying a home, when are you guys gonna have a kid? And then, I told them basically the same thing. It's like, why the fuck is everybody asking? Like, why does it matter? I was like, you sound like, our parents. And we told our parents, like, as kind of a way to, like, deflect, right? Like, we've been telling them for years, like, don't fucking ask us until we buy a home. But now we own a fucking home, and we have nothing else to deflect to. And this guy, this is the second positive that came out of him, was even though he was not our attorney, he was just a guy on roller skates at Sonic, being a waiter. He said, you can tell them that your attorney advised you not to have kids. And I said, you know what? That's a great fucking piece of advice. I'm going to deflect to that right now until I can't use that anymore. So that's the second positive thing that came out of this person.
Real quick.
what are the reasons why an attorney would advise you not to have a kid? It's like, hey, by the way, you're about to be like put in prison for 5 years, and I'm a terrible defense lawyer, so.
I don't know what the reason is. All I know is that that's just all I'm going to say, and then I'm just going to say my attorney also advised me not to tell you why.
You could do that for sure. Here's another
It'd be
one.
vague as fuck.
Just because I watched The King of the Hill revive recently, Hank Hill famously has a narrow urethra. It it was a miracle Bobby Hill was born in the first place. Just tell people like, hey, it's none of your business, but I have a narrow urethra. It's very hard to conceive.
You feel like a piece of shit now, don't you? Asking about my narrow urethra.
Yeah, my mangled cock.
It's not mangled, it's just narrow. All right.
Yeah. So that was that human being. I don't want to get too much into detail just because, like, I feel bad about the whole thing. I don't know. I don't want to go in. But anyway, the person...
this piece of shit who's a piece of shit at their job, who's also a piece of shit with dated, misogynistic views. Oh, I don't want to get him in trouble.
I mean,
man, these
left.
These Sonic drive-through waiters or waitresses, we don't even know this person's gender. We don't even know.
Do they still do that at Sonic? I can't remember the last time I went to a Sonic and didn't go through the drive-thru. Do they still have roller skates? Oh,
mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've never been to a Sonic.
So the other thing is the people that we bought the house from are just fucking idiots. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They're so dumb. like we were buying this place as is, walk through it, right? Everything's good, cool. Here's our offer. And they're like, oh, cool, yeah, we'll accept that offer. And then we were like, but we want you to make these minor fixes that, like, is nothing major. We want you to do it. And they said, no, we're not going to do anything. And then we said, okay. And then they said, you know what? We'll fix the slight leak in the sink, which wasn't a big deal. It was like a light leak and, like, something I could have fixed in an hour once we got possession of the place. And this guy's like, you know what? We're going to be good people. We're going to fix that sink. We don't hear anything for 2 weeks, and then a week before we're supposed to close, we just get sent pictures of the fucking floor flooded in this fucking condo, like outside of the bathroom. And we find out that the person who owned it tried to fix it themselves, but forgot to put, like, a rubber washer into the sink.
No.
And so, like, fixed it, turned on the water, and then left to go to the store for, like, an hour. And came back and there's just water everywhere. And so, like, the floor, there's, like, some water damage in the floor. And, like, that was a whole other process where it was like, they were like, well, we don't want to fix it. And I was like, well, what
you're going to take less for my offer then. I'm not giving you that much money. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was like either you fix it or, we potentially just back out of the deal because I don't want to pay, $5,000 to replace the floor or whatever it's going to cost. But
and that's like you have like real hardwood floors in that place, right?
Yeah. So ultimately, they did a repair job on it. It's not the best repair job. It's definitely noticeable if you look for it, right? Like if you know where the water damage was. But I would say it's acceptable for the time being until, like, maybe in a few years we want to replace the floor of the whole condo. So yeah, I don't know. The people we were buying from were just huge assholes the whole way through. Like, just super stubborn and arrogant. Like, there was literally a window that wouldn't close all the way. Like, it would stay open by an inch, and they didn't want to fix it. You know how easy it was for me to fix it? It took, like, 3 seconds.
Oh, I got out of a deal because of a lady who refuses to... And I had an inspection. The inspection, like, here are things that you are not legally allowed to sell your house for. I don't want to fix that stuff. Yeah. Okay, I guess you'll never sell this house then, lady. That's insane. Yeah. Also, it's annoying for them to say that...
It being a legal thing is completely different. Sorry. It being a legal thing is... Like, none of this stuff was like, you can't sell it legally because of it. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying, like, with the leak, whenever I was selling my place, they asked me to, like, fix this or fix that, like, a small leak here or there. And they were like, you have to have a certified plumber do it. They're like, you can't do it yourself. Like, you have to pay someone to come do it. So it's crazy that he's like, or whoever it was like, I'll just do it and not put a washer in. That'll be good enough. It's like... Yeah, those people sound like assholes. Like they just wanted to sell it and get as much money as possible with doing zero work. And it's like, well, you can do that, but you'll take less money. And they're just like, well, I don't want to hear that. Yeah,
exactly. And then so during the inspection we had the electrical box. The inspector's like, yeah, this is a really old brand. It was called, like, I don't know, Zinus or something like that. Start with a Z.
Oh, Zinus.
I forget what it was called, but they're like, yeah, it's a really old brand. It was a cheap brand made in, like, the 60s that, was really cheap and caused a lot of house fires, but they built a lot of houses. They built a lot of houses with them because of how cheap and affordable it was.
Zinsco?
Zinsco, that's what it is. Yeah.
I will let you... Okay, so I Googled electrical box brand with a Z, and the very first search result is an article from Cool Today called 4 Outdated and Unsafe Electrical Panels That Could Be... And I had to click it. That could be hiding in your home.
Yeah. And so like we knew that was going to be a thing that we were going to have to fix ourselves. Like we brought it up to them to try and get them to do it, and of course they shot it down immediately because they didn't want to spend the money on it, which is, it is what it is. Um, and so like we were like, all right, we're going to get the place, right? We're going to fix what we think needs to be fixed, and then we'll get get an electrician out here, give us a quote and stuff. But we were thinking that was going to be like a 6-month plan. Like in 6 months we'll get an electrician out here to look at it. Um, Turns out, as soon as we moved in, we couldn't turn like the whole condo was just wired all fucky. Like I couldn't be doing something here in my office room while Elise is like watching TV in the other bedroom. Like just completely fucked. Every time it was just blowing a fuse, the breaker was going. So like the first week we lived here, I had to call an electrician, get an electrician out. They came, looked at it, and the guy's like, $2,000 and I'll have a whole new system in here. I was like, fucking, when can you be here, man? Like I can't live like this. I need electricity. He's like, I'll be here Monday. I was like, perfect. Send your guy. I'm not gonna get a second quote. I'll give you your $2,000. You'll fix my shit. And so yeah, I got a new electrical panel right off the bat. Right? First week. Second week technically. End of the second week comes along. What happens, right? Week 1, we're ordering out. We're, making sandwiches. We're not really cooking. Week 2, we decided, we got our lives organized. All of our shit's more or less put away where it needs to be. We can cook now. Elise goes to turn on the oven. Oven doesn't work. No. Was it? Elise goes to turn on the stove. Stove doesn't work. It's clicking. Click, 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 click. No stove. No fire. Turns on the oven works. So we're like, all right, whatever. We'll look at the stove tomorrow. We'll make this frozen pizza for tonight. All will be well.
Home run in frozen pizza?
Dude, I don't remember.
Good.
Tombstone?
Good. You would know if it's home run in.
DiGiorno?
Throwing up.
I can tell you this. It was not a Jack's Pizza. Jack's Pizza is
Jets
the worst.
or Jack's?
Jack's.
Okay.
Fun, quick little pizza fact. What you call DiGiorno pizza in the United States is called Delissio pizza in Canada, and I genuinely don't know why.
Always got
Normally,
stupid
it's very
names for shit up there.
well. It's very common that like if things are being brought over to Quebec in particular, they'll be given like more French sounding names, like how KFC is called PFK. But I don't understand why they're like, yeah, DiGiorno. No, we're gonna call it Delissio.
That's
Just keep it
Spanish.
DiGiorno. Yeah, I guess so. That's odd. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So the stovetop wasn't working. That weekend, I had my friend who works for Geek Squad coming over to, we did my whole entertainment center. And when he was here, I was like, yo, let's take my stove apart and take a look at it. He's like, all right, cool. I've worked on stoves before. I know a thing or two about them. We had this thing taken apart for 2.5 hours, just like looking at all the connections, doing everything. We had it unplugged. We plugged it back in. Kept making sure the oven still worked. Oven still worked. Good to go. Stove stopped working. Still wouldn't work right. Finally, after 2.5 hours, just completely gave up. I was like, all right, I'm going to fucking order a new one. Just put it back together. We'll push it up against the wall. I'll order a new one. It'll be here, in a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. We push it back against the wall. And I try one last time, let's try the stovetop. It fucking lights immediately. Stove works, baby, right? Awesome. No, because now the fucking oven doesn't work. The oven, and somehow we didn't unplug and plug something in. We didn't switch any of the wiring around. All we did was unplug and replug stuff in, just make sure nothing was loose. And yeah, somehow, some way, now the stove works, the oven doesn't work. So we switched them. I just said, fuck it, I'm not messing with this anymore. I'm ordering a new oven. So order a new oven.
I was going to say, it's like in a video game where you have a puzzle where it's like when you turn this on, these two other adjacent things turn off, and you have to figure out the right order in which to turn things on so that they're all on at the same time.
That was kind of your lights, and then you said, fuck this puzzle. I'm going to get a stronger puzzle where everything can be on.
Yeah. So yeah, now that stuff is done, that's the I don't know, essential stuff that we need to get repaired on the condo. Everything else is quality of life or cosmetic stuff. As soon as we got the keys, we painted the 2 bedrooms just because one of the bedrooms, the dude was smoking in here while he was working. So it smelled. So we had to use an odor killing primer and put a few coats of that on. It smells all gone. So we're all good here. But yeah, I'm gonna share my screen here. I got some pictures.
Ooh.
So quality of life stuff, right? Let me hide this. Let me pull up quality of life stuff. We have been like redoing the kitchen. Here's a picture of me putting the backsplash on. But let me go back in time. Oh no, where am I at? I'm lost. Hold on. Don't look. Nobody look at my hands.
The pictures are also very small.
Don't look at my
Yeah,
hands.
I know. I'm gonna zoom.
This
All right.
is 16 by 16 pixels.
Yeah, I don't know why the pictures are all tiny, but can you see this?
Yeah.
All right. So I decided, you know what? I had a bad few weeks. Chad knows about it. I lost a friend and I was mad, so I was like, I want to fucking break something. So I just started hacking away at this fucking backsplash. Like my life depended on it. I went to Home Depot during my lunch break, bought this fucking scraper tool and I had this hammer. I just started hacking away. I took off all the existing backsplash. It was hideous. I don't think I have a picture in here of it. But then I, patched up the wall, made it all flat, and then I installed this whole backsplash that weekend.
That looks nice.
Look at that gorgeous tile
gorgeous.
work.
Yeah, you can ignore like this bottom corner under the outlet. That's all cleaned up now. I literally
can't
caulked
even
it
see
this
it.
evening.
Yeah, the highlights are blown out for us. We can't even see that.
Oh, well, yeah. That's oh, it is. Why is it all blown out like that? What the hell?
I think it's just a Video Ninja thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that's that. This.
Oh, that had to be fun.
So I started doing the same thing on the other wall. I was like, all right, it went very well on that first wall. Surely it's going to be the same on the other. Nope. It just started ripping out all the drywall as I was going. And so it got to the point where I was just ripping drywall out intentionally because I was like, it's not going to come off clean. I'm going to have to replace it anyway. So yeah, that happened. This is the evolution of that, where I just kept ripping drywall out. And then I put drywall in to patch. I patched it all up. Yeah, you see that? Looks good, doesn't it? Huh? Look at all that.
Yeah, look at that drywall work.
Look at all that. Well, drywall's only on the left. On the right, it all came off pretty clean. That's me putting the tile in along the wall. Yeah, it's coming along. So kind of where we're at right now, like this is, the tile work done here. In here. And where we're at now is we're painting the cabinets this green color. And yeah, it's coming together. We got the cabinets, some of them hung up. It's just like, I don't know, like me and my wife, we very much like doing stuff ourselves. Like we always knew when we were buying our first place that it was going to be something we wanted to put work into as opposed to needing to put work into. I don't know, just because I feel like we're both pretty crafty people, and I don't know. It might make me sound really dumb, but I feel like if I YouTube something, I can figure it out. And like I'm pretty good at knowing if I watch a YouTube video, like, oh, I am never going to be able to do this. Like for like the electrical stuff, like the electrical, panel, I never could have figured out what the fuck they were doing, right? Like it's just like an impossible task.
Also, something
that's why,
you
like,
probably shouldn't put to chance.
Yes,
Electrical system.
exactly. I will say those electricians, I was like, do you want me to go turn off do you want me to go to the basement and turn off like the main power supply to my condo? And the guy's like, no, I'll just do it live. And I was like, this motherfucker's gonna die in my condo, and it's gonna be a whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with our condo. We ran out of paint though, so we had to order more paint, and it won't be here for like a week. So we're eager to finish.
Paint from like Saudi Arabia?
No, it's just like a very specific brand and website that we ordered the first batch from. So we just want to make sure it's exactly the same.
Got to match, yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're at. And once that's done, it'll finally feel like a home because we'll be able to build our dining room table we bought. Because I didn't want to build it and put it in there and then get paint on it or something. Yeah. So it's all coming together.
I love how
looking great
for us people. Fans are kind of funny.
Genuinely really good.
Joel's just a Kevin, my bro. Like you were like, I'm gonna fix the house up and do all this cool stuff.
Dude, I like don't get me wrong. I get so aggravated doing it. Like I swear so much. Like Elise has had to tell me like, yo, you need to like be quiet. People are gonna think like we got an abusive situation going on here because like I'll be doing something and I'll just be like, you bitch, like, and like of course to my neighbors outside, like they might think like this dude's yelling at his wife right now. What the hell?
We thought the last guy was bad. Listen to this guy.
No. No, yeah, it's been good. It's been a good learning process for sure. But like that backsplash, like my back hurt so bad. Like doing that first wall was fine because it was just like a little area that was under the cabinet, and the rest was just like the wall up to the ceiling. But like when I was down in the corner, hunched over for like 4 hours straight, laying tile
Oh
up,
yeah.
like oh my god, I was exhausted after doing that. Chad, tell me, you got any stories? You put in some
Yeah,
lights
Chad
into
moved
your
too.
new
Yeah.
ceiling.
Oh god. Yeah. This is you know me. I need smart home. Everything needs to be convenient. It needs to be easy, and what was lighting in particular was frustrating because I got my home was like new construction, and I got to choose a lot of things about my home, like what countertop, what backsplash, what carpet, what flooring, all that kind of stuff. But they didn't have any light aside from like where I wanted lights and how many in each room. They didn't give me a choice of what kind of light. Um, and so I made all those choices back in March, and then I didn't get to move in until the end of July. And in my waiting there, I was trying to find out from the builders, like, what kind of lights are being put in? Are they can light? Because they were all recessed lighting. And I was like, all right, what size cans are they? Because I'm going to buy some smart light bulbs, figure out, what I'm going to put in there. And then I went over and to a friend of mine who lives down the street in the same neighborhood who also has one of these. Like, let's just figure out, what kind of lights are going up in there. And it turns out they're not. They are flat lights that are not light bulbs, and they're not even cans. They're just like this paper plate. You just have this paper plate, and it's sitting on the ceiling, and it's a flat LED element in there, and that's what powers the whole. It's just like, oh shit. So those aren't bulbs at all. So I got to go look into these other things. And so I'm a person over the last 10 years of accruing smart lights that I have a lot of different brands of lighting from Nanoleaf and Govee and Hue and all this kind of stuff. And I've decided in my old age that I am from now on just going to be a one manufacturer pony, and I'm going straight Philips Hue just because they are more expensive, but they're just the most reliable. I've just had so much more success with them. Philips Hue makes 6-inch recessed lighting equivalents of this thing, and this place put in 4-inch versions. And so I have to go to all of these, take them out. I have to cut a 6-inch hole around the existing 4-inch hole. So I can't even use like a traditional hole saw because there's nothing in the middle to hang on to. So like my dad designed a 3D printed like rig to attach a Dremel tool to the existing like light screws, like the screws that are up there right now. And then you use a Dremel to just like trim out the drywall around it. And of course, this place is like everything's double drywalled for noise reduction and all that kind of shit, which is amazing, except for whenever you have to actually like do things in the drywall. And so, of course, I need to cut through one layer of drywall and not 2 layers. I've killed 3 Dremels doing this because they just get completely clogged up with drywall dust, and then the motor overheats and just dies. And then I finally stopped buying Dremels, and I bought an actual drywall cutout tool. And I was like, oh, first of all, this is fucking cheaper. Second of all, it glides through this shit like butter. And so I just
You're
had to
talking about
design
like
an
one of the
adapter.
knives?
No, 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 no. If I tried to saw these out by hand, oh my god, I would throw up. It's it looks like a reciprocating saw or like a sawzall almost, but it's basically a Dremel bit at the end of it. But it's just a lot more powerful, and it also doesn't have the same like manufacturing defect that Dremels have that allows all that drywall dust to get in it. Because Dremels are meant to be used like pointing down on things or maybe sideways, but definitely not upwards where the dust falls into the hole. Yeah, so that's been a much longer process. My parents came to visit like the second week I was here, and I have 36 lights to do that to, and we got through 12 of them while they were here. I got through 4 more the weekend after they left. Yesterday I did 5 more in my kitchen. So I finally now have the big large common area done. And yeah, it's just so frustrating that like to have smart lighting in these like new builds. There's not more options to have like control over your lights without having to and of course, the frustrating thing is that every fucking light in this whole place has at least 2 light switches. One that's a dimmer switch that it's associated with, and then another light switch on like the opposite side of the room in case you're coming up the stairs, or from the other one you want a light switch to turn it on. And so there are 95 light switches all over this house. None of them are labeled, and you have no idea which one goes to what. And so that's frustrating as hell. And so I've decided, once I finally have all of the smart lights in, I'm taking out the dimmer switches, and I am just going to connect those wires, and just the lights are always going to be on. And then Lutron makes these Philips Hue they're like dimmer knobs, but they're completely wireless, but they just like go on your, if you have like the actual like little knob boner flippy switches, then it like goes on top of that to keep people from accidentally turning it off. But if you have like the flat paddle ones that go, then you just take the paddle out and put this on top, and it's just so much better. So
as much as that whole situation is annoying, I do want to just quickly backtrack and say, how cool is it that Chad's dad is like, oh, you're having difficulty with this like very specific issue. Let me 3D print a piece of equipment to help you out. That is like a really cool dad
awesome
move.
Is your dad just you from the future?
Well, he's me from the, I don't know how time
From the
works, but
past.
I got him a 3D printer 2 years ago as a like Father's Day or a birthday gift or something like that. And he just fucking ran with it. He loved it so much. He had an old shitty Creality printer that I got him at first before we knew before Bamboo really existed. And after we got him the Bamboo printer the next year, he like, all right, I'm going to take the 3D printer that you had before, and I'm going to retrofit it to be a laser cutter, and I'm going to start like laser engraving wood with it. And it's like, he just ran with it.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's my current home. I mean, aside from everything else, like I'm getting a sofa delivered on Wednesday and rugs delivered later in the week. I wish that was reversed so that I'd have the rugs down before I had to move all the furniture on top of them. Then I've got this big giant sofa right now that is like, a person who lives by myself with a 15-pound dog, how am I going to get that sofa down and out of this house and in somebody else's house or a dumpster? I don't know.
Movers.
I don't want to hire movers to come and move
That extra couple hundred is so much it's so fucking worth it if you don't have any help.
1-800-GOT-JUNK out there? Is that a thing out?
Get this shit out of my house.com.
Just gotta like con them to come. I legit thought like, what if I just get out my circular saw and just cut it into pieces?
Post it on Facebook
Get
Marketplace.
it down the stairs.
Just
I
If you
thought
say
about
it's
that,
free, but
like,
you gotta
free,
come get it, people will do it.
free, but you gotta come get it.
There's an internal work like Slack channel for buy nothing new, and it's just like a bunch of people just posting free shit on there. But yeah, just come get it. You have to come get it and take it yourself. And I'm not helping you move it down the stairs. And don't fuck up my walls.
Can I take the wheel? Because I want to take this podcast for a hard left swerve. I feel like it's very
as long
often
as
on
that
these
left
episodes.
swerve lasts about 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, don't you worry about that. This probably won't last too long. I feel like it's very often on RAFter Dark that we'll inevitably come back to talking about movies. So I got kind of a movie-related topic that I want to discuss. So on one of the secret Discords, someone shared a screenshot of a Letterboxd review by Ayo Edebiri. I don't know if this is actually from that actress in question, if this is like a meme or not a meme. It's a 4.5 star review of The Empire Strikes Back. And their review reads as follows. This movie is great, but I was really shocked by how ugly Yoda was. Sorry if that pisses anybody off, but I had only seen Baby Yoda, and adult Yoda is fucking busted. And that reminded me of the fact that for the longest period of time, I was absolutely terrified of E.T., the Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was one of my, more kind of formative, elementary school memories of that movie being wheeled in for us to watch in like grade 1 of elementary school. To the teacher being like, oh, E.T., a fun, safe, sanitary kids movie. And I'm just losing my shit just watching this like gross ass, ugly, just malformed alien from beyond the stars, just interacting with these children in all sorts of unsettling ways. And so I wanted to open it up to the group and ask, what are some movies that you were terrified of in your youth? Movies that stuck with you for a long time, and are you still terrified of them?
Goosebumps. When I was a kid, I was terrified of Goosebumps.
The
That
show?
theme song.
The
Yeah, the show.
Oh, yeah.
The theme
That was
song
scary.
like scared the shit out of me. And to this day, I've never watched X-Files because the theme song of that also terrified me as a kid and gave me trauma. So I will never watch it.
There were scenes in E.T. that are just scary scenes, like the baseball rolling into the tall grass in the beginning. Anytime that he just like goes
His
at the
fucking neck
camera.
extends. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, right?
The thing that really upsets me about the whole ET situation is like, and I don't know if this is just like indicative of my generation being weaker than the generations that came before me, but like on a bunch of the, ET DVDs and Blu-rays, they have like behind the scenes featurettes where they show footage of people going to see ET back when it came out in theaters in 1983. And there's this one scene where they're interviewing like it must be like a 3-year-old girl. And they're like, so what did you think of ET? And he's like, he's a very nice alien and I love him very much. And I'm like, there's no way that you didn't find this guy absolutely terrifying. Like what? But people love him. People love ET. And I just don't get it.
No, my great grandmother hated him. She would, I might have said this before, but because she was an old woman, she would cut apples with a pocket knife because that's what old people do. And I was watching that movie because I was a kid, and she was like, I hate that ET. If I saw it in real life, I would take this knife and cut his fucking neck off. It's legitimately a thing that she said she would cut his head off with her pocket knife if she ever saw him in real life. So my great grandmother, also not a fan of ET, did not like that guy.
What about you though, Adam? Like, were you terrified of ET? Were there any other movies where you're
No,
like, ooh,
ET
not
never
about this
bothered
one?
me. He was fine. I didn't love the movie. I thought it was fine, but I wasn't scared of him. I don't know. I didn't grow up as a pussy, so I really wasn't scared of
Wow.
basically anything. No, I'm just trying to think of what is something that scared me. I liked Goosebumps. I see what Joel's saying. There are definitely certain episodes where like they would look at a person and they'd turn into like a monster person for half a second. And like, yeah, that's a bit of a jump scare for a fucking 7-year-old.
Goosebumps. Well, like what's funny about Goosebumps, what's funny about that show is like you go back and you watch Goosebumps nowadays and like it's just complete, like it's very fun, but it's just complete like cornball fluff. Like it's very hard to be scared of that show as an adult, but like E.T. still has that quality to this day where it's like, this is just unsettling. In a way that something like Goosebumps, definitely shows its age.
No, the episode where the parents are monsters and they have the snake teeth and the dog has the little devil eyes. Joel knows what I'm talking about. Well, he didn't watch the show. There's also the plant episode where all the plants were in the basement and there's a giant plant that moved around. That was pretty spooky. I don't know, man. Joel or
the movie,
Chad, what were you scared of?
The Goosebumps movie where she puts a mask on and it gets stuck.
Was it in the Jack Black movie?
No. The old '90s Goosebumps movie or early.
I don't remember there being a
Goosebumps
'90s movie. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't like a feature film. It was like a direct to DVD.
Oh,
kind
TV.
Of thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
I saw Scream shortly after it came out as a kid. Like as soon as it was available to rent at Blockbuster, like my whole family was watching that, and that Ghostface, like that one haunted my dreams for quite a while.
Mm.
No, I like Ghostface. He's a cool guy. He's a big silly goofball. I don't know. Marionette puppets are pretty fucking weird. The little fucking weirdos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
Here you go. Muppets. Fucking Muppets.
Oh, I love Muppets, man.
Really?
No. Those things are creepy, especially looking at things like Fozzie Bear. Oh no.
He's the best.
How do you feel about
They're
Kermit?
just creepy. Kermit too. Anything Muppets
Really?
related. I know Matt being one of my best friends and his obsession with the Muppets, like I feel bad saying it, but no, those things fucking suck and they're creepy.
Nah, man. Muppet Treasure Island has Tim Curry and all the Muppets, and it's the greatest movie of all time. It's so fucking good. You know what's
weird though? I don't find the Sesame Street Muppets creepy and awful.
It's the exact same company.
And I don't find Avenue Q Muppets creepy. It's just the Muppets themselves. Muppet Babies, however, that's just my jam.
Well, that was animated, so it was different, huh?
Yeah.
So give me just a second. Give me just a second, because I have something that I want to pull up for Chad. So
Is it going to be something
we often
awful?
talk about how, up here in Canada, we have unique spins and takes and, iterations of popular other brands around the world. In Canada, they had a Canadian version of Sesame Street called Sesame Park. It wasn't a knockoff. It was produced by the Sesame Workshop, but it was like an entirely like original set of characters.
Why?
So first character like pictured on the page is Chaos, who is a cat. You scroll down a little bit more. There's Katie. There's Basil the bear. He was like another like big character on the show.
A bear in a armor set from a knight.
I'm pretty sure that him being in the armor set was like, I'm pretty sure that's specifically for whatever like presentation that photo was taken at.
That's like if Big Bird wore like a tack
set.
vest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty. It's pretty weird.
Yeah. But anyways, Chad, how do you feel about the Sesame Park characters? Are you scared of them or do you find them comforting and friendly?
I would have to see them in motion because still photos, it just looks like the poor version of Sesame Street. But in motion, that's where the Muppets really are their creepiest.
Man, I'm reading the Sesame Park page. It says Sesame Park was canceled in 2001 for undisclosed reasons. Citation needed.
Racist. They were all
Demonic
the Muppets.
possession.
All the Muppets were racist.
Oh, Chad.
Wait, 2001.
That's too
Wait.
bad.
You think they're behind 9/11?
I was about to say. You know what else happened in 2001?
Oh shit.
Fascinating. I'll have to look into this more. Anyways, that was my movie segment.
Cozy, I rode my bike yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. I rode it for 22 miles.
Whoa.
Where?
Yeah. So there was an event called Bike the Drive, which is where they shut down Lakeshore Drive in downtown Chicago, which is kind of the lakefront highway there. There is a bike trail along the lakefront, but they shut down the actual expressway, and you can start at Grant Park and you go 7.5 miles north, and then it extends 7.5 miles south of Grant Park as well. So the total ride is 30 miles. We did the whole north route and then kind of went south a little bit past McCormick Place and then came back. So we did about 22 miles. It was me, my dad, and my brother. We decided we wanted to do it. And so we did it. It was fun. And my gooch is really sore.
Yeah.
You're what now?
So is Gooch, the ABC, the ass balls connection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For those
So
who
the intent is you start at Grand Park and then you go up and then back down and then down and back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And that
Well,
adds up, to 30 miles. Okay.
I'm happy that you're joining the rest of us in the sun on the right side of history as a proud cyclist. I think that's really fantastic, honestly. I hope that you continue this off. For those who live in the Great White North like me, 22 miles is 35.4 kilometers about, which is no small feat. So good on you for that.
Yeah.
You hear that? Cozy said you have big feet.
I have big feet. So
Big
I
ass
will
feet.
say, so I was out of town over the weekend, right? I was up in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Every year, my fantasy football league.
Wait a minute. How did you bike 22 miles and also you weren't in the same city?
You went to the Geneva
to my
convention?
story. Yeah.
You went to
let me tell the fucking story.
Genosha?
Let me tell the story.
Took CD Lamb with your first round draft pick?
Every year, no, I did not. Every year, my fantasy football league, we take a group trip for the fantasy football draft. We go to a lake house every year. This year it was in Lake Geneva, which is about an hour and a half drive from where I live with no traffic. And so I drove up there Friday night, and then so I realized like a few weeks ago that I had this trip and then also Bike the Drive the same weekend. And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? Can't do both. And I was like, I'm just going to do both. So I drove up there Friday, drove back down here Saturday night, woke up at 5 a.m. to go do Bike the Drive. It started at 6:30 a.m. Did Bike the Drive, 22 miles, got home at like 11 a.m., got lunch with Elise on Sunday, and then I drove back to Lake Geneva at like 1 p.m. Like 1 p.m. on Sunday because the fantasy football draft was at 3 p.m. So I was able to do both. It was great. I went up there last night and then, just had a bonfire, hung out in the hot tub with the boys, smoked a cigar, and then, we ordered some ice cream as you do. We watched The Fugitive, as you do, and then we went to
where?
bed.
Legit, I've been looking to watch The Fugitive for like a year, but they took
I
it
don't
off
know.
HBO Max.
I don't know what we were watching it on. I honestly
I
don't know.
figured that out.
It's the first time I've ever seen it. But yeah, that was my weekend. What was the other question? Did somebody ask another question about it? Oh, the Geneva Convention.
Geneva Convention. Yeah.
So I went to Gen Con a few weeks ago, which I also something I haven't talked to you guys about, which is just like the world's biggest, like, I don't know, board game and I don't know, like D&D convention.
Tabletop
in the
RPG.
world. Yeah, TTRPG convention. I went there a few weeks ago, but in Lake Geneva is actually where it was started, which is why it's called Gen Con, all formerly known as the Geneva Convention, which was just like kind of a funny play on words because they were super into playing like, you know, like those army tabletop games, right? But that's also where Dungeons and Dragons was started, was in Lake Geneva.
Oh, that's
And
where
so
Gary
In the
Gygax
lake.
is from?
Sorry, what?
That's where Gary Gygax, he's from the lake?
Dude, I
He's
don't
a lake
know.
monster from Alan Wake.
I went to some house because I was looking at a map and I was like, oh, it says where D&D was started.
Oh, yes, Gary Gygax made D&D with his friends in some house, apparently in Lake Geneva. Look it up. Oh, Gary G.
Yeah. I took a picture of like a thing they had in the window at the house. I walked up to the house. It was closed. Like I think that they do like tours of it or something. It was closed, but they had a thing inside that gave the whole history. And man, was that history boring. Let me tell you. It was just like, oh, this dude, he worked and then he got fired and then he had his 5th kid a week later and then him and his friends would always play these board games about, you know, Axis and Allies kind of shit. And it's just like, okay, just cut to the nerd stuff I care about.
And then one day he's like, what if you, instead of 100 guys, you controlled 5 and they had magic powers sometimes? It's like, all right,
Yeah.
Gary, we get where you're going.
Yeah, so that was my long weekend. And I'm pretty exhausted from it, if I'm being honest.
I have a real exhausting weekend myself coming up. I already talked about this a little bit on the Prime podcast, so I won't repeat all the explicit details, but I am going to be going on an 89-kilometer bike course around Mount Orford near the city of Magog in southern Quebec.
How many miles is 89
It's like 50
kilometers
miles.
around that orphanage?
It is 55.302,
Okay.
according to
did you
Google.
say like Mount Orphan or something like that?
Mount Orford. It's the Parc National
It's
du
Wilford
Mont
Brimley
Orford.
as an orphan.
Al Horford.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's going to be fun. Possibly.
Atlanta Falcons
see.
legend. Or no, Atlanta Hawks legend.
I'm bringing,
Yeah.
my plan is I'm going to download Silk Song the day before I depart.
Oh yeah, that song
So
is
I'm
gonna be
gonna-
so silky.
Yeah, I'm going to play it while I'm out in the country before and after the bike course. We'll see how that goes.
How long
Does the
are
word
you?
country have an O in it?
How long is that going to take you, Cozy?
I mean, the last bike course I did, which is about 83 kilometers, took like between, like I often tell people, oh yeah, it took me about 5 hours, but it was definitely more closer to 6. So this will definitely take me like a good 6 or so hours. I could go faster. I'm not really, the thing is I kind of, whenever I do these bike courses, I always feel like such a slob because like 90% of the people doing the bike course all have like the super like kitted out, like bike uniforms. They have like the specific like bike shirt where like you stick your like iPhone and like battery pack into a little pouch on the back of it. And I'm just there, you know, wearing my plain Jane clothes, packing lightly. I'm not, you know, packing heavy or anything, but like, I'm not here to, you know, I'm not dressed to impress any of my other fellow cyclists.
Cycling on a
road.
mongoose.
Yeah.
I just had a
On a
brilliant
mongoose.
idea.
Ooh.
You know those mounts that you put on your handlebars that hold your phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got one.
Mod one to hold your Nintendo Switch. And then you put your Joy-Cons on the handlebars. And then you can silk song it while you're 89ing around this orphanage. And then you don't have to worry about how long it takes you because you're going to be enjoying good old Hornet there the whole time.
That actually sounds like a fun, like Instagram Reels video. That doesn't sound like something I would probably want to do on this specific trek.
Sounds
But I'll
like
think
something
about
that's
it.
going to get you flipped over your own handlebars doing.
Yeah. There's one guy on like the TikToks that basically like brewed an entire jug of coffee while riding around on like a unicycle. I was very impressed by that.
That's dumb. You're gonna get that. You're gonna spill that coffee on you.
Somehow he didn't spill any. He actually managed to pull it all off. I think he was from France, actually.
Yeah, sounds like it's something a Frenchman would do.
This is a fun episode.
Yeah, it's been a good RAFter Dark.
I had a major surgery, but we'll skip that.
Laughed, we cried.
Well,
you could have brought up your surgery when we talked about IKEA.
Hate to see it.
Love to watch it walk away.
Yeah, your surgery was at an IKEA and you didn't bring it up. I don't know why you're complaining.
It was on the second floor. I forgot what floor I was on.
We replaced 3 of your digits with hot dogs. If you're a patron, you'll get to find out in October all about Adam's hot dog finger surgery and his recovery. And if you're not a patron, you gotta wait until like Thanksgiving or some shit. So
I was gonna say that's why the IKEA hot dogs that Joel had were so bad. They probably reused the tissue that they extracted from Adam to make them.
Sounds like something IKEA would do.
Yeah, it was Adam's finger with a hot dog veneer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Reminder, if you're listening to this and it's not the month of September 2025, you are not supporting us. So go to Respawning Fire's Patreon at patreon.com/respawning-fire, where you can also vote. Oh, by the way, if you voted this month, we're playing, what did we decide? Power Wash Simulator, where you simulate power washing. And spoilers, I'm going to try to play this entirely in VR. I cannot wait.
On PSVR?
Yeah, PSVR 2. It was also I think it was a free on PlayStation Plus like 6 months ago or something like that too. So
maybe I'll try it out.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week after Dark Spooky.
Ooh, RAFter Dark.
Ooh.
Children of the Night.